Good evening, folks, and welcome to another week of Delta T Racing Division 2. I'm Havoc Connor, and I'm going to take you through this Singapore Grand Prix Round 9 of Season 8. So we've got almost a full grid tonight. Plenty of action to be had, I'm sure. As we see the first few cars coming out onto track. Of course, everyone's going to be on softs. So who have we got out first, then is the question. It is the Haas of Evan. Is the first started out that? He'll be looking to capitalise on a few good results already. Was a mere 3/10 away from taking victory last time out in Monza. So he'll be definitely looking to try and convert onto the top step, I should say. So as to the standings, then we've got Nexton leading the way in the Drivers' Championship on 96 points. Two wins and a total of 4 podiums to his name so far, with Mikey, who's currently in the pits. In second position, just a mere 8 points behind, representing the Mercedes team, who currently lead the way in the Constructors' Championship, with Ferrari represented by Nexton breathing down the necks, just a mere 3 points behind, and McLaren rounding out the top 3 in Constructors. Another 24 points back on 102. So then, Evan going through sector 2. Just coming over the bridge now as we speak. Around the very tight hairpin. And up towards the end of sector 2. It is a 105.2 currently. Obviously will be purple as he was first out on track. But what is going to be the time to beat is the question. Around the final corner, across the line, and it is 1:30.3 we're looking at, and Cassell beats it by 6/10, is a 1:29.744. Joe then in the Red Bull just splitting the two, as Athanasiou with a 1:30.2 and a 1:29.8 respectively. The Rain Man just tagging onto the back with a 1:31.16, as times are starting to come in pretty rapidly now. We've got Hackett in the other Red Bull. What's he going to do? 1:31.6. Current pole time is 1:29.605 from Xavi. Letting the Ferrari go. Of Nexton, who's currently slotted in second. So got the other Haas of Honey Badger with a 131.9. Wazza breaks into the 129s with a 29.8. So most of the grid now have done their opening flyers. Got TGL Stewart, the lone Alpine tonight. Just the Alpine and which other team is it? We'll figure that out eventually, but Stewart then round in the final corner. What's he going to be able to put up? It's going to be a 130.8, puts him P9 after his first lap. So follow on with Maradacco for a second here as he's just entered sector 3. Left is down the new straight. Obviously in previous years it was a series of tight and twisting chicanes. Slow down the lot significantly. Maradacco almost breaks into the 29s, but settles for P6 with a 130.031 currently. So next up we've got Berserk in the what can he put up, if anything? Clean lap so far. Very close to the barrier there. But coming up to finishing the lap here. What has he got? Oh, clips the wall. That's gonna be detrimental. It's gonna be a 131.5, which puts. Oh, and he's invalidated it at the end. That's unfortunate. Jordan's coming in, so he's not going to set his lap currently. I think everyone else that's out has just set the lap. Just on hot laps anyway. Yeah, they are. So we've got a few on hot laps again, going for their second run. So we've got next. Is this a lap starter from Joe? It is. So we'll stick with him as he goes through the first few corners. Sweeping right-hander. Just got to be careful not to ride over that curb too much, as it's prime place for invalidating. So he's currently just over a 10.5 up. As we get a lovely aerial shot from the helicopter cam there. Always enjoyable getting those types of views, especially during night races, just winding your way down the Singaporean streets. Joe then 2 temps up as he enters sector 3. Would put him would jump in front of Maridako currently. Well, let's see what his final sector's saying as the rounds the final couple of corners up to the line. It is a 1:29.9. Does indeed jump him into P6. But Wazza very quickly jumps back and takes P6 with a 1:29.896. Wait, no, he was in front, so who jumped? Might have been Evan that jumped, actually. My bad. As Nexton takes provisional pole with a 29.4. Times is just tumbling currently. I think maybe we've got another couple of tenths in it, potentially. But we'll have to see as people are either finishing the second runs or just starting. Got Hackett next up then. Is an improvement. It is a half a second improvement. Takes him to P14, but it's a 1:31.0. Couple of cars in the pits then. That's Wazzy just coming around again, finishing a lap. He is. Up to the line, it's a 1:29.3, it's up to pole position. Incredible stuff. That's what you want to see. Pole position constantly changing hands. We've got Brandon 3 tenths up. Can he find anything in this last sector then to potentially get him out and into the top 10? A little bit of a wobble, but it is enough just to jump into 10th with a 30.119. It's down any time, I think he's on an in lap. Got Jordan in sector 1 with 27.2. We'll come back to that later. Berserk just starting his potential final run. Got Maridako then. He's next up, I believe. We've got the hype for little Mikey in the chat. Currently top P13, but I'm sure he'll be able to find some time on his final run as Maridako's invalidated, so we can move on from that. Who else we've got on the lap? Rainman's 1.4 down. We've got Jordan coming to the end of his lap. Just needs to get a time in. It's a 30.921. Plus in P14. Next we've got Brandon coming in, so we'll quickly move on from that. So Berserk is next up. Can he get a time on the board? He was very unlucky to have the last one deleted for a invalidation, I believe, finishing the lap, which counted as this in previous. But it is up to P14 with a 30.898. Yep, indeed, we've got Reliant here as well from GT3 Division 3. Absolutely agreed to be teammates this year. did the 2. I believe that's due during a lap. We'll come back to that in a moment. Do we have anyone else on the lap? Is Honey Badger is on a lap. So we'll sit there for the moment. Oh, just cut the wall. That's not going to be healthy. Can't see any wing damage, so if he did get any, it was very minor. But not entirely sure, as Stewart's coming around the final corner then. And it's up to P9 with a 30.039. Yeah, just a little love tap of the barrier. One moment. But nevertheless, I know we've got on. Who else have we got on laps? Who's closest? Jordan's on his out lap, so is the other Merc. Other McLaren. My apologies. Is that Alpha Tauri on a lap? Oh, Berserk's retired. What's happening there then? We had Yellows in sector 2. I'm wondering if he's sent it off there. We've got majority of the grid then on a final flyer. Probably just going to make it to the line, I think. As we've got Relia up into P7. Right, we've got an Alfa Romeo first. It's not Gunnar. It would have been Cassell. Did he just start his lap though or not? So next is gonna stay P2. Unless someone beats him. Now Mikey's got a five place grid penalty for a collision with Stewart. That's not ideal. Was that coming into the pits then? Because I'm saying Stewart's in the pits, but I'm not too sure on that one. As Maridako's taken pole, quickly followed by Athanasiou into the 129 ones. Is anyone going to get close is the question. Waz is not improving currently. Xavi's 6 tenths up though. And if he carries this through, he could potentially take pole. We'll stay on with him. We've got Evan in P2. And Xavi's taking it with a 28.8. That's a phenomenal time for the Williams driver. Like I said, Waz is not improving. Cassell improving very slightly. Is Hackett going to improve? Cassell does improve, but only to P7. Is Hackett gonna... Hackett's coming in. Yeah, very good time indeed by Xavi. Almost a full 3 tenths gap to Athanasiou he's got there. Half a second to Evan in P3. Field looking really close otherwise, for the most part. So then, final rundown of qualifying. Then you've got Xavi on pole with 28.8. Athanasiou in second for the Aston Martins with a 29.1, and Evan rounds out the top three with a 29.3 for the Haas team. Then you've got Ferrari in 4 and 6. Wazil Williams in 5th. Cassell 7th. Brandon 8th. Joe 9th. Gunnar 10th. Relly at 11th. Stuart the Lone Alpine in 12th. Mikey in 13th. Berserk 14th. Jordan 15th. Hackett 16th. Rayman 17th. And Honey Badger rounding out the grid in 18th. So it's all set up for a rather exciting race. I think there was a couple of people that probably could have gone a bit quicker, knowing their pace, having raced them. But sky's looking clear once again for the race. I'm not sure if any rain is expected. But we're just waiting for the grid to be to finish their tweaks, potential setup tweaks, strategy calls, ready for a particularly grueling 31 lap race. Singapore, if you enjoy it, it can be a very fun track, but if you don't, then it can be a bit of a long one, despite the removal of the chicanes for this year. So out for the formation lap we go then. Xavi, of course, leading the way. So in terms of tyres, then we've got majority hard by the looks of things. I've got 1, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of the grid on hards. Got a few mediums in Xavi, Evan, Brandon, Joe, Jordan and Honey Badger, with Stuart being the lone soft runner in this early stint. Now, Stuart is maybe not a trendsetter, but definitely goes against the grain in terms of everyone else, in terms of strategy. Has been known to try different things a number of times before in these races. And tonight's no different, as majority of the grid just coming through the bridge section now. Mikey bringing up the rear. Looks like Rainman's had an incident and ended up at the back. But nevertheless, he'll be able to make it to his good spot. I did have that in mind for you, to be fair, Stuart, lad. I did think. As I said, a moment ago, you are a bit of a maverick in terms of trying different things when it comes to strategy. Here we go then. And we're underway. Xavi managing to stay ahead going into turn one. Seemingly pretty clean, not seeing any contact up to now. A few position changes, but nothing too major it seems. As we head into the first big braking zone. We have had Elliott lose 7 positions, not entirely sure what happened there. But knowing him, he'll be able to, should be able to make good progress back up the field. He's not entirely out of it per se, as he's only at the back, but Xavi managing to hold position on lap 1. Safely makes it through to start lap 2. So the biggest winners and losers so far. Jordan's ended up pitting and has lost 4 positions. Elliott's lost 6. But big gainers are Honey Badger making up 5 positions up to P12. And then you've got Mikey who's made up a few positions from the back up to P15 in the Mercedes. Timing screen's going a bit wappy at the moment. Just bear with us a second. We'll just have to wait until it fixes itself, unfortunately. But Athanasiou sticking to the back of Evan, as Brandon is around, and the McLaren's not having a good time tonight, unfortunately. Unfortunately for them, currently start P7 and P17 and P18 following that spin. But now, of course, here is where DRS will come into play. Evans stealing the fastest lap away from Xavi there across the line. So then, who are we looking at in terms of looking to make a move here? Mike is right in the back of Hackett. Is he going to be able to get a move done? Hackett looking a little bit slow, but managing to stay in front. And we've got a little bit of bumping, but Mikey sends it around the outside and is able to get the move done on Hackett up into P13. Meanwhile, up near the front, Evan is not letting Xavi out of his sight here for P1. Obviously, it's early days, but you never know what could happen. Athanasiou just still sticking within the 1 second. Also, of Evan here to keep tabs on them. A little bit further back, we've got Maridakos closing in on Wazza. we had Honey Badger fairly close to Mikey there. And we've got another spinner. Oh, and Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm sorry, that were really dangerous. Just spun it around and he's completely taken the Mercedes with him. So Joe's definitely going to need a new wing after that. But unfortunately, that is the end of Mikey's race. And it's brought out the first safety car of the evening. It was brutal indeed. I don't often expect to catch things like that, but yeah, that was one we happened to catch. Obviously, try and spin yourself around if you can, but in a place like that with cars still coming around, it's really dangerous. So the grid will get neutralized once again while everyone going to bite the bullet early and pit or not. I have a feeling that Stuart might. The question is, am I going to be correct or not? Yep. And now I would think, 27 laps to go, I think he can do a double medium stint to the end. But let's see what he's going for. It is indeed the mediums. Obviously, Joe's in to fix his wing, as is Brandon by the looks of things, and has gone on to hard tyres. This interval. So we've got Stuart and Rayman on mediums. We've got Honey Badger, Brandon on hards, Joe's on mediums, and Jordan stayed out and he's on hards. So everyone from 12th downwards has made a stop now. Obviously tyres are only 4 laps old for, well, apart from Jordan, are only 4 laps old for most of the field, so they'll be able to get away with that. In terms of not stopping now. So on to lap 6 then. I think safety car will be in by the end of this lap, as everyone from Rainman back will have caught up to the safety car. So I believe so. Yeah, majority. Well, majority of the top 7 have gone either up or down one position from starting. You've got Gunner who's made up 2. You've got Honey Badger and Rain Man, who were fairly near the back at the start, have made up 3 each. And then Hackett and Berserker made up 4. So they're your big gainers from this current position. Meanwhile, you've got Brandon and Joe in 15th and 16th, who've lost 7 positions apiece. Jordan not lost quite as many, but still lost 3 and is at the back after obviously pitting early himself. Safety car is indeed in this lap. But the question is going to be, when will Xavi go? So we will keep an eye on him. Just keeping those mediums warm. As he gets towards the chicane, Evan just trying not to be caught out here as the race restarts, and Xavi's gone. Evan staying pretty close to him. Afanasi didn't really get caught out either. Berserk, the only one really that's been left a little bit in the dark, I suppose. Has made it back within, well, did make it back within 1 second, but not anymore. Got a gaggle of cars behind Hackett pretty close to each other. Oh, Brandon's gone wide. Nothing too detrimental, I hope, for his sake. Got Gunner then. Just following next to the log. Rainman and Hackett particularly close, but nothing doing pertaining to a move. As Watt has picked up the first 3 seconds. Oh God! As we've got another incident. That's Gunnar and Athanasi who added to the DNF pile. Did Stewart get damaged in that? It doesn't look like it. He'll be very lucky to escape if he hasn't. To be fair, that was a big impact, or looked like a big impact. But once again under safety car conditions. That's what we like to hear. Couldn't particularly tell, as it was rather close. But hopefully no one else got caught in that. So then Xavi's still leading the way. Waz has just taken P2. I'm assuming it was P3, to be fair, actually. That would make more sense. Evans in from P2, potentially. Can't exactly remember where he was, my apologies, but I can indeed. So we have got majority on hard. Obviously some have gone longer than others following the first safety car. But we've got Xavi on 8 lap old mediums still up at the top. Followed by Wazza Maradako and Cassell all on hard for the same amount of time. Stewart's seemingly played a blinder here. Started on softs, has gone to the mediums, and he's currently sat P5 on fresher tyres than those around him, so that could potentially play into his hands later on. And then everyone else on four lap or better, barring Jordan, who stopped on lap 1. So once again, safety cars in this lap. We'll have a quick browse from Waz's point of view. That's the two Williams boys. Try and keep the tyres in the working window. And they have gone. So back under green flag conditions again then. Current penalties as it stands, Waz has only got 3 seconds. The rest have kept it all clean currently. So we've got Evan trying to make his way back through again after stopping onto the hard tyres. Got Stewart trying to keep close to Casellia. As Xavi's just starting to, I was looking to break out the second gap. Just teetering very close to it, but not entirely. Not entirely out of it yet. A little bit further down, we've got Rain Man on the comeback after starting P16. He's looking at Hackett. Side by side, can't quite make it through, but gets side by side on the switchback. A little bit of contact, but does indeed manage to get P8. Brilliant bit of driving there from Rain Man. Could have gone horribly wrong if Hackett would have spun there, but nevertheless, Evan now looking to make the move on Brandon. Side by side, no problem there. Evan manages to get through, and now he's just got a group of cars really close to each other in front of him. Can he make one or even two? We'll stick on for him for a second. Oh, and he's made it past his teammate. Don't know if there were any team orders in place there or not, but he's made it through nonetheless, and he's side by side with Hackett. That was a very audacious move there for Evan to get through in P10, but he has indeed managed it. Joe, after that collision with Mikey that unfortunately ended his race, he's back up to where he started. Who else have we got then? We've got really overtaken by Rainman. He's up to P7. Further down, we've got Honey Badger losing position for Nexon as DRS is enabled once again. Got 2 wide through turns 1, 2 and 3. But Evans got through again. This time on Joe. And now Evans chasing down Relly. Is he going to be able to get him? DRS is open for both of them. Oh, he left it late, but not enough. Did well to back out there. It goes to the inside. Feeling very racy tonight, he's Evans. He's definitely got the pace. Qualified second. We've got yellow flags in sector 2. Oh, we've got a VSC. Who's that round? It's Stewart and Cassell. Oh, that's unfortunate. I can only think that something's happened there between the two of them as they were very close to each other. Not entirely sure what, but I'm sure I'll get an update at some point. Whether it be during or after the race. So VSC. Rainman. What a race so far, by the way. As Xavi's decided to pit now under the VSC, just as it finishes. We'll still gain a little bit of time on his pit stop, but not a lot. But yeah, let's just talk about Rainman for a second. He's made effectively a position every lap, and he's currently in P3. As Cassell gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which I assume is track limits. Becoming the second driver to do so. But yeah, Evan as well on the charge following pitting under that second safety car, back up to P4, and is rapidly chasing down Rainman. Some phenomenal speed on these hard tyres. It must be said. But anyway, Wazza is currently leading. Teammate Xavi having pitted at the end of that VSC. Maradako a bit just behind, and then you can see in the distance Rainman and Evan being fairly close with each other. We've got a group of cars coming through the chicanes now. Honey Badger's close. Side by side with our kick. Can he make the move stick into turn 1? Bricks fairly late. Might get a warning for that. But the move is indeed done. Is Hackett going to come back at him though? Sets himself up with a run with the DRS. As Relly overtaking Nexon for P6. Hackett just backs out, didn't quite have enough. Oh, and he's under threat from Jordan, who almost That almost could have ended badly for the two. Thankfully it didn't. Nexton then through. Oh, not quite through on Relly. Oh, and he's tapped Rain Man. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Rain Man. He was having such a good race. And for that to just happen, that's really unfortunate. So what you want to see is Xavi now breathing down Rain Man's neck. Is probably going to get through here, and yeah, it does so. So we've got leader Waza, Mamadako haven't stopped yet. Neither has Reliot, Hackett, and Cassell. Stewart stopped twice already, and he's stopping again. And that's the end of that. And Cassell's out. That's probably going to be the third safety car. And it is. I can see the dot. So a third safety car then for Cassell. Losing his front left, which is an ideal time for those that haven't stopped yet to do so. I would have thought. Yep, top two of Indy pitted. Evans getting off the hards. Yeah, I think. Oh, Honey Badger staying out. When did Honey Badger pit, to be fair? Honey Badger pitted on lap 5. So Brave's staying out here. Pretty much everyone else is in. So yeah, brave move here from Honey Badger to stay out. Obviously Xavi's on fresh hards, so he hasn't stopped. But everyone else then has fresh rubber to attack the rest of this race with. So yeah, now we've got Honey Badger leading from Xavi. He's got back up to P2 following dropping down after pitting early. Currently only lost one position. Waza P3 on fresh mediums, which you would think can be taken to the end, provided that there's not another safety car. Waza now the only one with pens following Cassell's retirement. So Maradaka then up to P4. Evan in P5. Joe P6 next in P7. So it's a good day for the Ferrari boys so far in terms of constructors, with one of the Mercs not currently in the race and the other one in low points. So that'll help them in the constructors. Hackett rounding out the top 10. And then we've got Jordan Berserker and Rain Man. Rain Man who's just pitted. Back on his hards for the remainder of the race, I would have thought. It's a shame that he was having a really good race. He was having a really good race at one point. But I'm sure I'm sure the safety car will be in this lap, and it is indeed in this lap. So we will have a quick look as the cars all bunch up once again for the third time this evening. Honey Badger leading the way this time, and not one of the Williams boys. Honey Badger catching Xavi out a little bit as they're around the final corner. But he's gaining. And Maritako, with a rather ambitious lunge, doesn't pull it off and gets a 3-second penalty for his trouble. We've got contact between the two. And just like that, Maradako's race is over. We seem to be catching all the action tonight. Nevertheless then, we're under a VSC this time, as I believe we've used all the safety cars, and we're back underway again then. To be fair, between Monday's race and tonight, I think I'll be putting a lot less fuel in my car tomorrow night for Division 3. But Wazza then gets the switch back on Honey Badger by the looks of things, and we're back to a Williams 1-2 with Xavi leading the way. Wazza in behind, and then Evan closing in again on Wazza. Question is, how long is he going to be able to hold it off for? We should be getting DRS back next lap, I think. Nevertheless, Joe's made his way up to P4 after the earlier incident, which is good for the Red Bull team. We've got Nexton right behind Honey Badger then. How long is he going to give it before he picks for a different set of tyres then? As Nexton just eats him alive, and Reliant then not far behind. Yeah, Reliant makes easy work of it as well. Yeah, Honey Badger's just seemingly dropping like a stone at the moment. Jordan right on the back of Hackett is going to be able to make the move. Side by side. Both come out unscathed and Jordan has indeed made the pass. The question is what happens now to Honey Badger. And Xavi here. Xavi on the hard tyres. Wazza on the mediums. And Evan just in behind. Got Jordan right on the back of Honey Badger again. It's sad to see him drop this far, but he is just a sitting duck on those 15 lap old hards when everyone else is on a lot fresher tyres around him. And Hackett's now made the pass. There's only one car left. I'm not entirely sure what the strategy would have been, but I think he ought to have pit when he had the chance. As Rain Man has indeed now passed him. Next in closing up to Joey, looking to crack the podium. Evan looking at maybe sizing up a move on Wazza, not into turn 1 of course, but maybe just looking to get closer. And I believe Wazza's out with DRS here. If Evan going to make the move, sends it really deep, doesn't quite make the corner, and Xavi retakes the lead. Xavi retakes P2. My apologies. Xavi seems to be struggling a little bit here. He's lost out the lead to Wazza, and now Evan's right on the back of him. So we'll see how this develops. As Joe's now beginning to catch the two in front with this battling. Gap down from 2.5 to around 1.3, and Nexton following in behind. Everyone else a little bit more spread out here. But Evan then round the final corner is going to have DRS. Xavi won't, so he's got no defence from this. Does manage to keep in front just, but I think they'll be looking. I think Evan will be looking to turn 5. Well, DRS straight after turn 5 to get something done here. He's right at the back of him. Xavi no DRS to compete here on harder tyres. Yeah, and Evan just makes that look easy. Oh, but he has made a mistake on exit, and Xavi side by side. A little bit of contact, but doesn't end up in the wall like previous incidents have shown us. Now Joe, because of all this fighting, Joe's managed to get back within DRS of the Haas and the Williams. Nexton just in behind as well. Got Berserk and Brandon side by side into the chicane. There is contact and he's just sort of bullied him out of the way, and it's allowed his McLaren teammate John to get through on Brandon. So he can still chase. He can still stay chasing after Berserk here. But the DRS train is in effect for Joe Nexon, Chevy Joe and Nexon. My apologies. All very close between very close in the battle for P3 here. Evan is around 3.5 seconds away from Wazza. He seems to be keeping that gap. Obviously, Wazza does have the penalty, so he ideally needs to keep the gap for as long as he can. Only 4 attempts needed currently for, well, 4 or 5 attempts needed for Evan to break that gap and take the victory. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in these last few laps. Meanwhile, the battle for third still rages on, and it appears that Relia is closing in a little bit here. Not quite, doesn't quite have the DRS, but he does seem to be keeping a relative distance. Now, is there going to be any movement into the big DRS zone? As Berserk gets a 3-second time penalty now with Jordan right behind him. No movement up front, but Jordan does indeed get through on Berserk, and does indeed keep it. Still not a lot of movement in the battle for third, but Relia has indeed joined the party. He's within a second if he can keep it within DRS. I mean, yeah, it's a shame when anyone's race ends like that, but not a lot you can do after the effect. Just send it to the stewards and see what happens. Trying to be impartial, of course, but nevertheless, we've still got a battle for P3. I believe Relia is still within DRS, yeah, his wings open. Has dropped back a little bit though. Waz is still managing that gap at the top, 3.3. Just keeping it steady, nothing major going on in terms of the battle for the lead at the moment. Obviously, Xavi's dropped back considerably from where he was at the end of the safety car. I believe that, yeah, that's almost 7.5 seconds he's dropped since. But are we going to see anything into the chicane? A little bit of slipstream, but it's not going to be enough to take a look at anything. both have DRS, so still the same train it always was. Nexon just needs to get it right here if he wants to try and make the pass on Joe for P4. Obviously both Ferrari and Mercedes both are man down now in terms of points for the constructors. Nexon currently doing the job for Ferrari in terms of keeping them ahead, but really it's not that far away. There is still 5 laps to go after this one, so we'll have to see what comes of it. If Nexon could indeed get ahead of Joe, that'd be doing the world of good. But we see what happens. Relia is indeed a bit closer now. Or was closer until the chicane. Does still have DRS, but a little bit further back than he would want to be. And now Evan, we mentioned it a couple of laps ago, but he's slowly eating into that gap of Wazza and might take the win on his own here. Obviously post-race stewards inquiries will come after, but as of right now, it looks like he's going to be able to manage the gap enough to where he can win this race. Meanwhile, battle for P3 is still raging on. Joe, Next and Relia all in the hunt in these final 5 laps. Have no idea which way it's going to go here. Could go anywhere. They are in a bit of a train, but if they can break the train in these corners, then they'll be aiming to. Next, not quite close enough. Got the gap down to about 2/10, which is not enough. Joe doing a great job here of defending and using Xavi for the DRS just to keep him ahead. But into the DRS once again then. Not going to be able to make anything happen on this lap either. Oh, and he's gone for it on the inside. Audacious move. Couldn't get it done. I think there was a little bit of desperation there, just trying to get through, and it's not happened for him. Is he going to get to a point there where Xavi's slowing Joe down here and ends up costing him P4? That's going to be the question that we ask over the next 3 laps, 3 and a bit laps anyway. Berserk just trying to hang on to the back of Jordan just to pull him through, to keep his P8. Oh, we've got an incident. Oh, it's Nexon and Joe. Relly has gone through and he's now in P4. And it looks like Nexon and Joe have made contact because they're... Well, Nexon's P5, but Joe is now almost three. Well, three. Oh yeah, almost 3 seconds down. So I don't know whether it was the spin, whether it was contact. Did Nexon get too eager once again and try and make the move again like he did turn 9, 8, 9? I want to say. I could be wrong, but nevertheless. I think there might be words about that after the race, if any contact was made. But Evan has been slowly closing the gap ever since we noticed it a few moments ago. He's under, well, he's 7/10 under now the gap that he needs. As I said, Wazza and Berserk the only ones with penalties. Do we have a fast? Wazza still holds the fastest lap then with a 32.4. The question is what's going to become of P4 in these last couple of laps. Really, it doesn't have the DRS, but Nexton does. Is he going to be able to get through? He's a little bit too far back this time around, but there is another 1, 2. There's another 2 DRS zones to go after this on the final lap, so just needs to stay as close as he can. Jordan catching it to the back of Joe. I'm assuming Joe's got some kind of damage because he's dropping back even further away from Nexon here and the top 5. It's a real shame. He was having, there it is. There's even more damage if he didn't have any already. As Jordan and Berserk both get through. On to the final lap then, and Evan is really closing in on Wazza. He's managed to claw back a second in the last couple of laps. I don't think he'll potentially make the pass yet. Well, I should say make the pass before the end of the race, but he's definitely making time up. As Reliant gets 3 seconds, which means Nexon would be promoted to P4 currently. That's not what he needed at all. And Evan is he's making up so much time here. Is Wazza slowing down? I'm really not sure, but Evan's just got so much more pace currently. I mean, the gap was 1.5 at the start of the lap, and it's now down to 5.5 tenths. Oh, and they've made contact. Evan got a little bit of damage there, but it's not going to particularly matter as he's 7.5 seconds back. Well, 7 seconds back from in front of Xavi, so it's not particularly going to matter. Maybe a little bit of tactics in play there to try and to try and keep first, but nevertheless, Evan is your winner of the Singapore Grand Prix. Wazza P2, Xavi P3, Nexon P4, Reliant P5. Jordan coming home in a decent P6 after the earlier incidents. Berserk P7, Hackett P8, Brandon P9. Rainman coming home to finally get a point after everything that's happened to him this race. Evans finally managed it. And then we've got Joe and Honey Badger to round out the finishers. But what a drive from Evan, kept it clean. Joe's finally come home in 11th, and then Honey Badger getting a 3-second penalty for yard insult to injury. Finally comes home in P12. Yeah, Evan finally making it up to the top step of the podium. It was coming after after the P2 in Monza. Has shown good pace all season, but something's not always going his way. But finally puts that demon to rest. Most races without a victory in the Hall of Shame, and can finally put that stat to bed. So final classification before we wrap things up. We've got Evan in P1, Wazza P2, Xavi P3 rounding out top 3 with a Williams 2-3. Next in the Ferrari in 4th, Relly at 5th, Jordan 6th, Berserk 7th, Hackett 8th, Brandon 9th, Rainman 10th, Joe Hayward 11th, Honey Badger 12th, and the non-finishers were Maridako Cassell, TGL Stewart, Guna, Athanasiou, and Mikey at the bottom. Well, we can't say it's not been an exciting week in Division 2. Because that was definitely worth a watch in my opinion. But nevertheless, it's been a pleasure as always to be back on the mic again. And yeah, we've got Division 3 tomorrow, also at Singapore. And then next week we head to Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. So that'll be another one to look forward to. Anyway, I'm going to let you all go. It's been a pleasure. I've been Havoc Connor, and we'll be back tomorrow with another race for your face. Good night.